Hello! Hi, and welcome back to Flowers the Wintertime Edition. The last time we were together, we picked up that Rika ending. How was that? It was better than I thought it would be. It was again, the 3 years thing. Still a little weird, but hey, overall, still a pretty solid little ending. The series continues to be very strong in its writing, even when I may be a little on some things at some points, but that's neither here nor there. But we are here today, and I don't know that we're done yet. I think there's still a good bit of stuff for us to tackle. There's still a good bit of things for us to do. Like I said at the start of the last video, a lot of visual novel bullshit, meaning that we've got to go back now and we've got to do some cleanup, because there's still some scenes, and I do believe a CG or two that we've still not seen. So we need to go ahead and we need to start digging into that. So you're stuck with me for just a little while longer, unfortunately. So you're gonna have to bear with me. We're in this together. So today, I think, probably gonna be a lighter one. I don't imagine it's going to be as emotionally heavy, but I've been proven wrong before by just normal scenes in this series. So all we need to do is roll ourselves on over here. So let's go ahead and start by loading this. And we're gonna gloss over it. I must have worried Rika-san with my dour expression. I quickly tell her that I don't have a problem with it. It's an easy mistake. Anybody could make it. Rika-san gives me a suspicious look, as though I'm not fooling her, but doesn't push the matter any further. Okay. Am I happy with how things are? Well, if it means I can be friends with everyone. Behind her glasses, my métier partner's eyes are serious. It's all she ever wanted. For some reason, an incredibly sad look passes over Rika-san's face for just a moment, but then she forces a smile and tells me how nice that is. Isn't that special? I usually take showers. Dear Ichigo, or Ringo-san. Oops, I made the mistake. I finally made the twins a mistake. I didn't look at the mole. I haven't been in the right frame of mind to sink into a bath. My thoughts might catch up with me there. These days, I usually just take a quick shower, then exit the baths as soon as I'm clean. Ichigo's got a point. And you can't use cool bath bombs in a shower. I mean, I imagine you could try, but I think that's gonna be real friggin' awkward. She leans in, wagging her finger at me, and I can't help but giggle. Telling you off, take this seriously! Take me seriously, I'm begging you! Says Ichigo Sasaki, and everybody in the room laughed. I nod happily, delighted at the ease with which she uses that word. Oh. She's sick! I don't really know why the thought comes to me. It's not something I've actually considered. Colds are literally lethal in Flowers Land. Always comes right back. You're never gonna not talk about periods at some point. You might as well just get it out of the way. She pulls a face without elaborating further.
以前大したことないって言ってやがったからこいつは除外だ。こいつ
Ignoring Ichiko-san's question, she asks me whether I really think she might be sick.
本調子ではないようだからもしかしたらって思って。なんだ、可能性があるってだけか。危うく類焼するところだったぜ。
I tell the two of them, both looking thoughtful, that I think she's probably sleep deprived.
やっぱり二階屋の貝絡みか。
Council work will keep you busy.
新年度へ向けての準備が多くて、なかなか手が回らなくて。
I think I hear my stepmother playing piano. Melody filters into my ears through the haze of sleep. The sound is imbued with emotion. It's as though she's channeling her raw, unvarnished feelings through the keys. It's my daily alarm clock. After my father remarried and my stepmother moved into the house, she practiced morning, noon, and night. Morning, noon, and night. I don't know that many people are gonna get that one. Never making a session. My father spent a lot of money soundproofing a room for her, and so she played without reserve, her early morning piano sessions rousing us from sleep every day. Then my father, stepmother, stepbrother, and I would share a quiet breakfast together, but those halcyon days didn't last for long. The problems began the day my stepmother realized I was better at the piano than my stepbrother. No, that wasn't it. Maybe it was that her illness began to affect her fingers. The morning melody took an ominous tone to me. As my stepmother's mental health declined, my father started avoiding the house, and my stepbrother looked at me with resentment in his eyes. As soon as the sound became a bell that tolled the start of another day of melancholy, a bell beckoning me to another of the lessons that were gradually destroying me. The sound of the piano abruptly stops. Footsteps slowly approached my room. My stepmother was a small, thin woman, but her footsteps those mornings always rang unnaturally loud. Tap, 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 each footstep seeming to punctuate the malice within her heart. The menacing footsteps stop outside the door to my room. Eyes squeezed tightly closed. Not making a sound, I scream silently for someone to save me. But my father is so far away, my dead mother even further. Then who can I call on to help me? My grandfather? Right, perhaps he could. As the door creaks open, the idea of my grandfather coming to my rescue crumbles, the pieces scattering from my mind. Her footsteps squeak across the floor, approaching my bed. I'm wide awake now, but I keep my eyes shut, willing myself to go back to sleep. In the darkness, the footsteps stop, and then the vivid feeling of her hand on my shoulder jolts me up. My heart pounds in my chest. My entire body is drenched in sweat. I can still feel the lingering presence of her digits.
Yo.
Hey! You okay over there? Yo. You okay? I stare at her in confusion for a long moment, taking in the sight of her frozen with her hand outstretched. She awkwardly withdraws her hand. She says, by way of explanation,
約束の時間だってのに返事がないから勝手に部屋に入っちまったが、ずいぶんうなされているみたいだったからさ。起こしてくれたのね。余計なお世話だったか?
Nah, I think you were probably just in time, especially given the content of the dream she was having. Aww. I think Erica's all of our hero, though, really. We're just being honest. Her face flushes momentarily. Say it again! Praise me! I repeat it, because she really is my savior, rescuing me from the clutches of my stepmother.
そこはヒーローじゃなくヒロインがよかった。
It would probably be heroin, yeah. She grumbles good-naturedly as I stand up from my chair. The blood rushes to my head and I sway slightly, causing Erika-san to ask me if I'm all right.
ありがとう。昼食をとってすぐ昼寝とはいいご身分だ。本を読んでいたらうとうととしてしまったのね。エリカさんが来るまで読みながら待っている。
She scratches her head, acknowledging she's late. Then she looks around the room.
委員長はいないみたいだな。
Yeah, where's she at?
前に話した通り、今日の反則日は
Busy Sabbath. It's gonna be the name of my new metal band. A look of relief crosses her face at my confirmation, and she mutters that she wouldn't want her to overhear us.
リカさんが聞いてもきっとからかわないわ。まあそうだろうが、なんというか母親に日記を読まれているような気分になる。
Or, finding your Amitié's diary. Her face contorts into a grimace.
前に話したやつは見通しが立った。もう一つの相談に乗ってくれる。
Hit me! It's not long since she was last here seeking my counsel. I'd better tell you what I came to see you about in the first place. Her face flushed. Erika informs me that she was here to ask for advice on what to do for Takasaki-san's birthday. Takasaki-san celebrated hers before, and Erika is a firm believer in repaying favors, as she puts it. A world without a sense of duty would be a dark place indeed. Taking into account the fact February 1st was fast approaching, I came up with an idea.
お前が勧めてくれた通り、手袋はだいぶ編み上がったよ。
I suggested that she knit something for her Amitié partner.
もう出来上がりそうなの。編み物が上手だって聞いていたけれど、本当に得意なの。
She's got a lot of time. I mean, especially around here.
まあな。そういや、以前聞きそびれたが。何？私が編み物が得意だって誰に聞いたんだ？
When I tell her it was Takasaki-san, she covers her face with her hands, groaning that she didn't want it to spread around.
たまたま編み物の話になった時に聞いたから。
Don't worry, she's not telling everybody that you're a girly girl.
なら。
She's such a girly girl. Hey, YouTube. Erika Yagaki is such a girly girl. Don't tell anybody, though. She grumbles to herself, tapping her forehead. She's so sweet.
で、もう一つの相談事なんだが。何？
Yes. I love it. Like she's used this elongated version of yes a lot in this volume specifically.
手袋のプレゼントだけじゃ少し寂しいような気がしてさ。
Yeah.
一つ料理でも振る舞ってやろうと思うんだが、どうかな？とてもいい考えだわ。そうか。
I'm an expert when it comes to eating. It's the making it part that's, not so great at. Don't worry, we'll get you whipping some creamy ass in no time. Excitedly, I take her hand in mine and tell her I'd be delighted. Erika-san looks a little startled, but thanks me in a whisper.
それじゃあ早速、安息日の今日学びましょう。高崎さんに美味しいケーキを食べてもらいたいものね。料理がお誕生日ケーキなのは決まってるんだな。
Erika-san mutters to herself as I lead her by the hand toward the cooking classroom. The process for making whipped cream is simple, but profound. All right, we are absolutely gonna whip some more creamy ass. All you need is a fresh, heavy cream and granulated sugar. To chill the mixing bowl, you can set it in a bigger bowl filled with ice water. Keeping the cream cool as you whip it is important as it stops fat from separating and turning the mixture grainy. Tilt the bowl as you whip, moving the whisk side to side as you do, the cream will stiffen and gradually start to form soft peaks. The trick is to draw circles with your whisk. This helps to fold air into the cream as it thickens. Then, when you can lift the whisk and the peaks hold for a second or two before they fold back into the mixture,
あとはデコレーションするだけ。
slap it on the cake!
やや固まった今の状態でスポンジの壁面を塗るの。キューブ立ての状態になって初めて生クリームの完成よ。
Gonna whip your first cream. We just took Erika Yaigaki's cream virginity.
上のデコレーションまではもうちょいかかるってわけ
The jokes I make are so crass. Why are you still watching me? I giggle as Erika-san sticks her finger into the bowl, scoops out a blob of cream, and licks it off.
味見だよ。行儀は悪いが練習だ。
Gotta learn something. Yeah, exactly. Taste testing is a very big part of the cooking process. Else, how do you know you're not serving people absolute trash?
そうじゃなくて、八代先輩。
Aww.
先輩は。以前八代先輩も小見門先輩の。
I helped her whip some creamy ass too. And Suo is just like a cream master. She's just like the cream guru, the creme de la creme of cream.
スポンジまでは私が教えたのだけど、生クリーム作りはいちごさんたちが教えていたわ。八代先輩たちが作っているのを盗み見してたってわけだ。
She circles her hands around her eyes like binoculars, but when I nod, her jocular smile fades.
お前らしくない。なんとなく見守っていた方がいいと思ったの。いちごさんたちの腕を信用してないわけではなくて、さすが探偵。その頃からあいつらの関係は見えていた。
Bah-ha-ha! I shake my head. It was only a feeling. All I had to go on at the time was the sense of tension I felt between the three of them.
悪い。嫌味な言い方だったな。
Nah, it's just us. It's fine. I'm not gonna cancel you.
ことないわ。
We're the only ones using the kitchen. For a while, we say nothing, the silence coagulating between us like thick jelly. The only sound is the soft thump of the whisk against the sides of the bowl.
私がショートケーキ作りとか。
Not at all. Stop it. You can be a girly girl, everybody. We did establish that Erika Yagaki is a girly girl, did we not?
春の自分から考えると、こうしてお前と二人で仲良く料理を作っているのが現実感のない夢のように感じるよ。何かの拍子に冷めちまうような泡の夢に。
I should say something in response, but I stay silent. I know she's waiting for me to say something, but the words are stuck in my throat. Erika-san pauses in her whisking to pin me with her gaze. Then she flashes me a sardonic smile that reminds me of Yatsushiro senpai.
なあ白羽、楽しく人生を生きる秘訣ってやつを知りたくないか？
Good food, I imagine. It's you.
知りたい。単純な話だよ。
Live your truth!
正直に生きる。
Smiling bashfully, she scratches her nose.
天の弱な私に言われてもピンとこないだろうが、結局のところそいつが一番重要だ。我慢して生きていたっていいことなんて何もないんだよ。
That's a good point.
ゆりかさん、委員長もお前も何か抱えているようだけれどな。頼ってくれていい。承知なく。
Oh! Every little moment of vulnerability is just perfect. Every little moment of just like, these are like little things that Suo needs every once in a while. She's that friend, I imagine, that maybe needs to kind of have that little reassurance every now and again. It's like, yeah, we're friends. It's fine. Don't you sweat it. Still with that cynical smile playing across her lips, she points the whisk in the direction of the sponge. My chest floods with warmth and I nod deeply.
ありがとう、ゆりかさん。 がきだ。それじゃあ一つ気長にやろう。
With that, she goes back to her cake making. Her words sink into my heart like seeds, and an as yet nameless feeling starts to sprout within me. It's adorable. Adorable! Right. So now we can sleep. So we don't need to do the. So I guess in a way we are kind of like depriving Rika of her scarf. Because now we're just not gonna make it. Now we're just like, F it, dog. The night is still long. I pull the covers up over my head and close my eyes. Good scene, everybody. Someone I once knew wrote that we walk away from our dreams afraid that we may fail, or worse yet, afraid that we may succeed. Literally read that. Why do I always read those lines? February 1st. All right, it's the birthday party. All right, so no scarf. All right. So it's such lovely weather. The question is so sudden and I end up saying the first thing that comes to mind.
久しぶりにすごく晴れていたから。
For some reason, I default to talking about the weather.
確かにお天気がいいと気分が良くなるものね。
Absolutely.
まあ最近雪ばっか降ってたからな。雪かきも楽じゃないってのによ。
I don't imagine you have to do a whole lot of shoveling in your position.
寄宿舎やツ
Yeah, exactly. I was kind of thinking so. Surprisingly, the others seem game to talk about the weather, so I join in.
晴れた日の朝はすごく冷えるわよね。今日は芯まで冷えてしまったわ。放射冷却ってやつだな。何事にもいい面と悪い面がある。晴れてくれるのは嬉しいけれど、朝起きるのが辛いのよね。
I nod, then talk about the difference between the large and small snowflakes. Anyone who struggles with the conversation learns the ins and outs. Talking about the weather. Yeah! It's, yeah, I don't know. Yeah. I think that's definitely something you see a lot of people default to. Man, the weather, huh? Yeah. Yeah. Feeling real called out right now. I wanted to try to deny it, but then it was just like, no, my bitch ass really does go to weather when I like strapped for ways to keep to like get into a conversation. My dumb ass absolutely goes for weather.
甘くて？出エジプト期のマナね。
Bingo, she laughs and I smile back. As they continue talking amongst themselves, I slide my gaze over to where Rika-san is chatting to Abaki-san. No! Her words are oddly specific.
違うわ。
I deny it practically on reflex.
本当に？ならなんで目を赤くしていたの？
Allergies, dude! My original denial was a misstep because I can't tell her the real reason.
まさか本当に？夜遅くまで本を読んでいたの。
We'll say thanks. I thank her, and she takes a hold of my hand, forcing the candy into it. When I unwrap it, the chocolate is slightly melted from her body heat.
おいしい。
The chocolate melts across my tongue, releasing the sweetness, and I feel the tension in my temples melt along with it.
頭を使うのって意外と疲れるからな。適度に甘いものは取った方がいい。
Absolutely right. Though I thought I think it was actually much cuter when, you know, she let you feed her.
ありがとう、エリカさん。別にしっかりお代はいただいてるからな。
I'm already getting something in return. She takes the book back from me and caresses its cover, and in return, I offer her a smile. I think Erica would absolutely knock this recitation out of the park. Oh, this is the play, isn't it? I'm not trying to get revenge, but actually I am.
バスキア教諭
I raise my hand.
ヘイハブ船長が白芸を見つけて
Uh-oh! I'm in trouble. I hear her murmur.
私の代わりに八重垣エリカ
Yeah, let's do it!
八重垣さんですか？はい、私よりも読書家で脚本を書くにも向いていると思いますし、それに異議あり。白羽さんの意見は道理にかなっていません。異議を唱えるならその主張
Oh!
とは
Oh!
白羽さんは私が脚本を書くのを適している。
That's merely her own wishful
そい
thinking!
つは希望的観測に過ぎない。読書家がすべからく執筆するのが達者だというなら
That's... You see that come up in online, you see that one come up in online arguments a lot. Sister Basquiat distractingly agrees. I regret everything!
白羽は一度朗読劇を成功させた実績がある。彼女こそが適任ですよ。
Dang. You ain't getting out of it. I raise the white flag of surrender, knowing I can't outtalk her. Flustered, I cast around for any escape route I can find. Rip. Take her hand. Let's go. Her cheeks are as red as strawberries, and it's not just from the winter cold. Touched by her sincere concern for her friend, I reach out and take her hand.
そうちゃん、ありがとう。別に感謝されることでもないよ。だっていつだっていちごさんはみんなを気遣って。
It's true. He actually is always thinking about other people, and it's the sweetest thing. Always doing everything she can to make everybody happy. For some reason, she looks down at her feet.
いつも私のことを見てくれて
Aww.
ありがとうね。
It is nice to be appreciated when you're that person that kind of goes out of your way to try to make sure everybody's doing okay and you know, just tries to be nice and be the one to kind of get the efforts together to cheer people up. Yeah, she deserves a little thanks. Give her a head pat. Her voice is so quiet, it's almost inaudible. All right, so... I think that's all we have to do there. So... by the time the lethal... Okay, no, I don't think that's all we have to do. You never realize you're falling until you've already failed. My stepmother likened it to breathing. You don't notice your breaths until you're made aware of them. By the time the lethal flood of failure is upon you and you realize that the mud-colored waters are already at your neck, it's too late. These thoughts come to me from a place of irritation as I'm working on the recitation script in my room.
水肉の隠し棚にあった文献、調べている時間がないわ。
Just when I finally got my hands on a new clue that could potentially lead somewhere, I was saddled with the task of script writing. At first, I felt only excitement and some nerves at the prospect of us all performing together. But now, my time is entirely taken up with daily rehearsals, council duties, and script writing, and my insides are buzzing with impatience.
早くマユリエに誰か言われないか。
We're already almost halfway through February, and it won't be long before winter begins melting into spring. I'm convinced that if the season when Mayuri disappeared comes around once more, I'll never see her again. Yeah, it might be like 3 years or longer. You may end up employed at the school. Still waiting for her to show up. That might be the case. Who knows? Who am I to say? Uh-oh! It's step-mommy time! Step-mommy time. That almost sounds like step-on-me time. We probably shouldn't go there. I hear a faint voice, distant yet whispering directly into my ear. A dark, crushing wave of emotion surges up in me as I fearfully turn around. There she is, in the corner of my vision. I see my stepmother hovering in the corner of the room, staring fixedly at me. I know she's there, but I don't want to look directly at her. Knowing that conversing with her will mean acknowledging her, I remain silent, ignoring her and waiting with my insides twisted in knots for the hideous moment to please pass. A cry bursts from me, the word daughter pushing me over the edge. She never truly thought of me that way. I turn fully, pinning her to the center of my gaze. The corners of her lips twist up into a cruel imitation of a smile as she cackles at me. That's when I realize that I am indeed trembling, tremors running from my shoulders down to my fingertips. Ah! She says my name for the first time, and I look into her eyes. Those dark orbs, blacker than the darkest winter night, have been watching me this whole time. A chill runs down my spine, fear turning my insides to ice and only deepening the darkness emanating from my stepmother. I've sinned and I am so confused. I am a wicked child. Why am I singing so much this time around? What are you... Suddenly the door opens and I literally jump in surprise, twisting around to see who's there. Hey! So much extra Erica time. I'm here for it. A familiar bat-like squeak follows. Murmuring her name, I hurriedly send a glance toward the corner of the room. The shadow of my stepmother's vanished, and with it has gone the ominous atmosphere and the sick feeling in the pit of my stomach. Well, in a manner of speaking. Taking in her cat-like smile, I finally offer her a relieved smile of my own in return. Then I ask her what she's doing here. This is so true! I have seen this happen so often. My mom detailed cars. She kind of had her own business of sorts. Like and a lot of people came to her for the work. She had so many clients. She made damn good money over the course of the summer and rarely ever had to worry about, needing extra money over the winter or anything. Like, she kept herself real busy with car detailing. And I swear to Christ, at least 50% of the time that she would wash and wax a car, rain that night or the next day. Like, it was just almost like clockwork sometimes. You could just almost pinpoint the weather anytime she did, anytime she had cars that needed detailed that day. You just kind of knew it was like, well, some bitch, there it is again.
良かれと思ってやったことは往々にして思わぬ災難が降りかかるってことだよ。今日の朗読劇の練習休みだろ。
So we gonna just hang out? Erika-san jerks her chin at the notebook I've been writing a script in, and I shake my head.
聖堂で自主練してた佐々木姉妹に会ってな。私が先達だってことで少しだけ指導してやってたんだよ。そうしたらもっときちんと教えて。
They asked you for proper lessons, and now I don't know what to do! Now they want to actually be around me. I'm not used to this.
その通り、雨が降ってきたってわけ。
And it rained all night. Wait, it's another... Damn, it's like another Radiohead. That's like 2 Radioheads in one episode. She spreads her arms, grimacing, then she continues, telling me that they had the idea that it might be fun for us all to practice together.
そう、私を誘いに来てくれたのね。
I got us into this mess, and you're going to get us out of it.
今は千鳥が監督をしてる。脚本で手一杯ってんじゃないならどう？
I can't turn down a request from my savior when she's just rescued me from my stepmother, telling her that of course I'll join. I head over and grasp the handlebars of her wheelchair.
ダメだ、まだ照れが入ってる。もう一度やり直し。
No sooner does her critique echo throughout the chapel than it's replaced by a disgruntled wail.
厳しすぎるよ。最初はなかなか上手だって褒めてくれたじゃんか。
Yeah, but now you're overthinking it.
それは初めてにしてはだろう。
Oh, damn.
今は経験者だ。そろそろ慣れてくれないと困る。
You gave me expectations. It's all your
我関
fault.
せずって顔をしてるお前も同じだからな。
Should have just remained bad. Then we would have known what. Then you would have been a known quantity. She has so little to say that there's not even there wasn't even text in the text box.
キョロキョロするな。私が指さしたところにお前はいないだろうが。
Erika-san pulls no punches as she continues critiquing their voice work. I watch the lively back and forth between the 3 of them from the sidelines as I take a break.
お茶でもどう？
Oh, they're enjoying this! Takasaki-san comes out, a mug of tea in her hand. When I shake my head, Rika-san pipes up from beside me, smiling, and says she'll take one. Oh, dang. No, I'm offering tea to literally everyone else except Rika. She frowns. Oh! Takasaki-san asks her timidly. Oh, she's actually like a little timid about it. That's cute. I guess that tone of voice could sound a little monstery. I can't help but laugh at the way her braids bristle with indignation. The 2 of them share a look that seems to bring them some sort of truce. With a slight quirk of her lips, Takasaki-san pours coffee into 2 more china mugs. The scent of freshly ground coffee beans breezes through me, sweeping away the cobwebs. Yosh! Oh, they're practicing. That causes me to wonder aloud whether it's okay for us to be drinking in the chapel. She sticks her tongue out playfully, and I think to myself how much she's changed. Yeah, she was. Absolutely the stickler of the group. Back then, the rules came first, and the people they applied to second. Looking over at Erika-san, I feel like it's the same with her compared to when I first found out her name.
変わっていないのは私だけ。白羽さん？コーヒーのおかわりはどうかと尋ねたのだけど。
There's a concern in her eyes as she looks at me. I force a smile and tell her that I'm tired.
そう。
She doesn't look convinced.
エリカ。
She calls her amitié partner over, then, after shooting a glance my way, whispers something into her ear. Yo, we're getting more Chidori time. Let's go. The proposal that Takasaki-san whispered to Erika-san.
約束の1週間が過ぎ、10日を過ぎたその夜、ベルは今にも死んでしまいそうな野獣の夢を見た。
Get you in on the performance. Let's go. Was it Erika-san and I should read from Villeneuve's version of Beauty and the Beast and have the others watch, or rather listen and learn?
ベルは急ぎ野獣のもとへ。夢に出てきた場所、草原の上に野獣は倒れていました。
ああ、ベル。本当に来てくれたのだね。
My brain, no. No, 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 no. Stop it, brain. Stop it. It wasn't for nothing that Erika-san was the star of our wildly successful recitation back in the summer. Her performance is captivating.
これで思い残すことなく、幸せに死んでいくことができる。
待って、あなたは死んではいけません。
Drawn along by Erika's performance, I channel emotion into my voice.
ずっと生きて、私の夫になって。今気づいたの。私はあなたを愛しているということに。
I speak the declaration of love.
ベルが心からの言葉を発した瞬間、野獣の姿は消え、代わりに王子が姿を現したのです。
She tells of how the prince had been changed into a hideous beast by an enchantress, cursed to remain in that form until he found love with someone who did not fear him. Then,
王子は自分の国へと帰り、ベルを花嫁にし、幸せに暮らしました。
the story is tied up with a neat little bow. Yay!
すごい、さすがそう
It was
ちゃんだ
very
よ。
Sugoi, I agree.
エリカ先生も言うだけのことはありますね。
Erika-san says that there's no need to bring her into it, but the setting sun illuminates the smile on her face.
そうでしょ？うちのエリカは
Oh,
大し
I
たも
love
のな
how
のよ。
proud she is of Erika at all times. She is so precious. Oh my god.
エリカ先生が指導してくれたのだから、ちゃんと感謝しなくちゃね。
As I'm watching the group chatter lightly, someone taps me on the butt. Erika-san.
さすが、夏冬合わせて2度目の出場なだけはある。
まるで甲子園に出場したみたい。
Putting it in terms she would appreciate.
私はベースボールを愛しているからな。
Her feline smile graces her features, and her eyes take on a faraway look as she watches Takasaki-san read from Beauty and the Beast, explaining the things to consider when reading aloud. I follow her lead and quietly watch Rika-san and the others.
千鳥が。千鳥から、お前が落ち込んでいるようだから、話を聞いてやってくれと頼まれた。
Because she knows you got her back all the time.
高崎さんが。
It must have been when she brought me the coffee and I was distracted. I'm not sure how to respond.
お前の部屋に迎えに行った時も、どうも妙な感じだった。
As I have been many times before, I'm overcome with the urge to just tell her everything about Mayuri.
これは内緒だけど。
ああ、
イズニクで見つけた文献を密かに部屋に持ち込んで読んでいるの。だから最近ずっと寝不足なのよ。
Erika-san tears her gaze away from where the others are up on stage, picking through the books and glances my way. Our eyes meet for just a second, but it feels like she's trying to pick through my tangled emotions.
そうか。
After a brief moment of thought, she decides not to pry any further. I keep my eyes on the others so as I speak.
気遣って
そうだな。千鳥が気遣ってくれたおかげで私も役得だったよ。学院一の美人から告白してもらった。
There you go!
でも雨に降られない時もあるらしい。
Oh, it's not the same as a real deal, but you got to live it a little bit. Oh, why is Erica always so good? I can't help but laugh out loud. The sound reaches the others up on stage, and they come skipping over, wanting to know what all the fuss is about. Oh. The tension and frustrations that have made their nest in my heart fly away. I accept Ichigo-san as she leaps into my arms, and I vow to myself to focus only on the recitation right now, for their sake as well as mine. Okay, so yeah, all right, I think that's it for that, but there's still a bit more we gotta do. So let's go, and I think we drop back over here. And this time we'll be jumping into this save, and we're gonna be real mean to Chidori just right from the start. We're gonna lie! Tell a big fat lie. Why were we there? We totally weren't there when it happened. I don't know what you're talking about. Pressed for an answer, I respond. I leave out the fact that Yuzuri Yatsushiro and Narine Komikado were there too. Spit it out! Oh, she's so mad. Beneath her fiery glare, I feel compelled to tell the truth. Although I know it would be best to weave my usual tangle of truth and lies. Her voice seems to come to me from the bottom of a deep, dark well. That's enough! Not gonna have any of that nonsense. I can't think of anything. The question's suddenly directed my way. Can't do a kiddie story. Come on now. We're full-grown teenagers here. I rack my brain, but all I can come up with are the kind of childish pantomimes you might see at a kid's birthday party. Under the expectant gazes of my classmates, I rack my brain again, thinking back on the performances we've had so far, the recitation and the ballet recital, and then zoom! Can't say for certain, but I have a gut feeling. Does this whole Tulpa of Agape thing bring anything to mind? Nothing definite! That would have been my answer the first time. It's like, no, I definitely wouldn't have come up with the whole flower that wards snakes. I think about Rika-san's idea. Hurriedly, I wave my hand to temper her excitement. Exactly. We've gotta be pragmatic about this. Grimacing, Rika-san folds her arms, her braids wilting. I'm not that into scary stories. I'm about to launch into my repertoire of school-related ghost stories, but Seeing the pain look on my amitié partner's face, I swallow my words.
なんだ、夜の学校の雰囲気におじけづいたのか？
みんなと怖い話談義をするのは夢の一つではあったけれど、何も怖い話が特別好きなわけじゃないの。
どう違うんだ？
旅行好きでも道中の神社仏閣巡りが好きな人もいれば、ホテルの食事が楽しみな人だっているでしょ。
目的より手段が勝るやつだっているものな。
She seems satisfied by my explanation. Okay, what were the symbolic words from Castaway? Wow, that is a very loud vehicle next to my house. Again, I don't know if this microphone picks it up. The old one did, but that I don't know. It's got a very, very, very strict polar pattern on it, so. And I know that I have to, and I know what I have to do now. I gotta keep breathing, because tomorrow the sun will rise. Who knows what the tide could bring? Symbolic words from the movie Castaway. I chew on them as I immerse myself in the task of reading through the books I brought from Iznik. Ever since the day that Rika-san showed us the letters from Shion Basquiat and Sayori Kipune she'd found in the specimen room, things have started to move. First, I learned that Shion Basquiat was a student who had attended the academy. The information I received from former President Yuzuriha Yatsushiro didn't tell me anything about her as a person. All I had to go on was the fact that she was buried beside the old chapel, on the basis of which I surmised a connection to the academy and to Sister Basquiat. For that reason, I had assumed that Shion was a man, perhaps Sister Basquiat's adoptive father. However, thanks to Rika-san's discovery, I now know who she was, how she felt, and what kind of life she led here at the academy. And from that photo, I know just how closely she resembled her. There are an uncanny number of similarities in everything that occurred between me and Mayuri meeting and her disappearance after the Feast of the Assumption. As images of Mayuri and Shion dance through mind, the words on the page before me start to lose their meaning, my eyes sliding uselessly over them. I shake my head and massage my temples, chasing away the image of Shion Basquiat. Now that I've told Rika-san almost everything, I'm able to make real progress, bringing the books back to our room and slogging through them here. And on top of that, of course she did, because she's a good girl! I intended to use today, the Sabbath, to get through a good chunk of them, and we both rolled up our sleeves ready to get stuck to a day of reading. However, the best laid plans of mice and men often go awry. No sooner had we started than there was a knock at the door. My amitié partner, a core member of the choir club, was dragged off, her protests falling on deaf ears. Yeah, she looks it. They had talked it out, though Hokama-senpai's voice had been so quiet that I was only able to hear Rika-san's objections. Still, from the general flow of the conversation, it was obvious that Hokama-senpai's argument was more eloquent and held more water. And so, with profuse apologies to me, Rika-san left for the chapel. I speak the quote from Castaway aloud, then, believing that something will come my way, I cast my gaze down to the page once more. Then, a knock at the door comes to me. Reaching reflexively for my coffee cup, I find it empty. Oh, I thought it was a gentle knock at the door. I half rise out of my seat to grab the nearby pot. That's when I realize I've somehow gotten through the whole thing already. I look back and forth between the half-read book and the empty coffee pot. Deciding to put a pause on my reading, I get up to go brew myself some fresh coffee. As it turns out, the old adage about best laid plans didn't apply to my amitié partner alone.
ごめんなさい。付き合ってもらって。
Hey, how's it going? More Chidori time. I'm always a big fan of more Chidori time. Though I'm neither mouse nor man, my plans for the day have certainly gone awry.
気にしないで。高崎さんとお料理する
Aww.
嬉しいわ。
Are you looking to whip some creamy ass too? Still, I'm not too cut up about it. In fact, I'm glad she came by before I had a chance to really get started.
どうしたの？私、高崎さん
Aww.
料理を教えてほしいって言われて嬉しかったの。そう。
When her cheeks flush, she looks just adorable. It's easy for me to get along with her when she wears her emotions on her sleeve.
白羽さんは何か用があったんじゃないの？手にコーヒーポットを持っていたでしょ？本を読むのにコーヒーを用意しようと思って。本、イズニクの文献ね。ごめんなさい。私、邪魔をしちゃったわね。
Now, maybe she needs a break. Sometimes you can be a little too into your work. I gently lay a hand on her arm to stay her apologies.
休憩しようと思っていたところだもの。だから気にしないで。
Despite my reassurances, she doesn't seem convinced. I put a little pressure into my grip on her arm as I speak. You're going to enjoy your time with me! Squeeze, squeeze.
謝るなら私の方だわ。
Accept my apology!
高崎さんには訳を話していない不誠実な形で文献を調べるのを手伝ってもらっていたのだし、私の方が
I bow my head low to her, but she practically yells at me to raise it.
そんなこと別にいいのよ。気にしてなんていないわ。私だって。
I screw up my courage and finish my sentence.
お互いに気にするのはおしまいにしましょう。そうね。
She laughs breezily, like all her reserve has been cast off. I start arranging the cooking utensils we'll need.
でも高崎さんって優しいのね。
Oh, that's perfect!
ケーキを作り
She
たい。
loves herself some pancakes.
優しいだなんて。
Yes.
ミティのためにしてあげたいという気持ち、一番尊い理由だわ。
When I bumped into her in the corridor, she asked me for my help in making her amitié partner's favorite food. Oh, just check that off the list too. I feel like all I ever do is rely on others, so I'm genuinely overjoyed to be able to give something back. I agreed without a moment's hesitation, and now here we are in the cooking club room making pancakes.
白羽さんって変わっているわね。
Say that again.
そう？私と料理するのが嬉しいって。だって嬉しいもの。どうして？だってお友達と二人きりでお料理するなんて楽しいでしょ？
She's so sincere.
お友達？
Aww. Her brows furrows, though she's deep in thought. Oh no, did we make the Ichigo mistake from all the way back in spring again? I ask her, starting to panic slightly. She blinks at me and then,
お友達だわ。
yeah! She shows me a smile just like Mayuri. Stop gaslighting me, video game! They don't look alike! Oh, stop it!
それじゃあ始めましょう。お願いします、白羽先生。
Once bubbles start to form... Oh, look at this!
あとは
It's adorable.
シロップやバターをかければいいのよ。ほんわ。
What? old-fashioned but totally incomprehensible.
白羽さんは上手だわ。料理部に入っているだけあるわね。
She says, swallowing a bite of burned pancake. I see that she's already moved on to making a new batch of batter, and I can't help but admire her.
高崎さんって努力家なのね。何が？だって言いづらいけれど、たくさん失敗して、それでも諦めないなんて。
She's resilient. Takasaki-san blinks at me.
もしかして何度も何度も迷惑だった？いいえ、違うわ。ただすごいなって。反復練習はバレエの基本だもの。もともとしつこい。
Yeah, that's true. She's stubborn as hell. Plus, this is something she absolutely wants to do for the person she loves. So she will literally walk through hellfire and brimstone to get it done.
一度決めたら絶対に諦めないの。
Yep, that's absolutely true.
何？今のセリフ、世界でただ一人諦めないで戦う主人公みたいに聞こえた。ヒーローみたい。
I say, thinking of my favorite movie, but Takasaki-san regards me with an irritated look.
私、ヒーローは嫌だわ。ヒロインの方。
Circling back around. She gently touches my shoulder. The movement is as smooth and precise as a swan's.
今は白羽さんがヒーロー。私を救ってくれる役だわ。そうね。
The gesture, as fluid as her dancing, makes me feel close to her, and my chest glows with warmth.
でもパンケーキってただ何かの粉に卵とミルクを混ぜて焼くだけかと思っていたけれど、随分食材が必要なのね。口当たりがいい、とろけるような食感にするにはいろいろと必要なの。バターミルク、ベーキング。
I don't know that I've ever made pancakes with yogurt. Like, they're making some, like, real, like, high-level gourmet pancakes here. Then again, this is a fancy pants girls' school where, you know, they just got these kind of ingredients hanging around all the time. Like, I typically am that person that's just like, hey, throw some milk, flour, and sugar and what have you, and mix it up and you're good. You can still make good pancakes. You know, baking soda, baking powder, whatever. Which one is it? Baking soda? I never remember. I think they're the same damn thing, though.
基本的なもの以外も含まれているのよね。
Yeah, but they add a little bit of the extra heart to it, and that's what makes them fancy pants girls' school pancakes.
何度か試行錯誤を繰り返して増やしたものもあるわ。隠し味。
Suo's secret ingredients. Now you know.
それを私に伝授してくれるのだから白羽先生様々だわ。
We look at one another and giggle at her exaggerated compliment. I never imagined myself getting along so well with Takasaki-san.
だいぶ上手になってきたし、次は成功するわ。先生のお墨付きなら頑張らないとね。
I watch as she starts to mix together the pre-measured ingredients. I overhear her mutter something and ask her what she said. なんでもない!
ただ、こんなにも綺麗で頭もいいのに、頼りがいがあって優しいだなんて。
Yeah, it's kind of unfair how good she is, isn't it? It's almost like she's a visual novel protagonist.
白羽さんのこと
Whoa!
好きに
Whoa! Chidori just knows. Oh, wow. Wasn't expecting it to, like, I mean, we knew it was gonna, you know, we knew it came out with Yuzuri Ha and stuff. We didn't know it was gonna be, oh, no, Chidori just knows. But then again, you look at a girl like her, she's just got that intuition. Holy crap, dude. And think she'd just throw it out there like that. But then again, I'm pretty sure she's secure enough in her relationship at this point to say something like that. And it's just like, look, I know it's a thing, but I know who she's coming home to. I don't quite catch her whispered words, but I'm genuinely delighted to have gotten closer to Takasaki-san. Oh, it's so sweet. What a great little scene. And I know what I have to do now. I gotta keep breathing because tomorrow the sun will rise. Who knows what the tide could bring? Those words from the movie Castaway, they ring true. The tide did indeed bring me something.
まさか彼女が運んでくれるなんて。
Coffee pot in hand, I stare out the foggy window at the bare, frozen branches of the trees. But while I'm looking at them, I'm not really seeing them. Instead, I'm thinking about the tulpa phenomenon that Takasaki-san researched for me. When the pancakes were finished and I was brewing some coffee, she told me about this concept she had come across of the imaginary friend.
現代に即し
A tulpa for the modern era. Sounds like a great commercial. A tulpa for the modern era. According to Takasaki-san, it's different to the traditional concept of hallucinated entity that interferes with the ascetic training. These days, there are people out there who attempt to birth a tulpa from their own psyche as an imaginary friend.
空想から作り出す友人、イマジナリーフレンドとしてのダルマ。
I'm familiar with the term imaginary friend to describe a psychological phenomenon. I came across it years ago when I was researching my mother's illness. Imaginary friends reside in the imagination, and it's common for children to have them. But these modern tulpas don't simply exist in the mind. People see these pseudo-friends with their own eyes. And these friends can even offer them advice and encouragement.
頭の中だけの友人でなく、視認的助言を行うこともある。
I feel as though I've gained an important piece of the puzzle. Gazing out the trees with the branches like gnarled old fingers, I asked myself what this new puzzle piece is showing me. She snaps her fingers. Indeed, she does.
正解だ。
All right, I think that's actually it. So that is all of the cleanup that we've needed to do. So we should by now have seen all of the cutscenes, save for something else we're gonna save and do next time. So with all of those out of the way, the next time we're together will very likely be the last time we are playing the game. Our time is drawing to a close. And our time is actually drawn to a close right now since we're gonna be hopping away. But of course, thank you so much for always stopping by, and it's much appreciated when you can loan me a bit of your time. I hope you enjoyed yourself, and I hope you have a nice rest of your whatever, wherever it is that you are, and we will catch you next time. Also, I got way smaller and nobody noticed. Ha! I'm supposed to be this big, but I goofed up while I was recording, and I did. Oh, nope, that's not what I did. That's not what I did. I didn't do. What am I? Wow!